Yo guys, what is up? Today I come to you with a double review of the newest anime of 2017 winter lineup, and it goes by the name of ACCA or ACCA. Now it's up to you whether you want to call it either, but I'm going to give you my first impression and go into the second episode review of what happened. Now, I believe this show has about 12 to 13 episodes and it's being produced by Madhouse. So that may give some people a reason to watch this series. Even if, this is not your type of style of show to watch because it deals with government and police and all of that other stuff. From after watching the first episode, I have to say I'm going to go straight into my first impression is that it starts off very slow. I mean, they explain things and tell us what ACCA is, which consists of like 13 branches, and they were created for the sake of citizens' lives, and they were created at the time when in the Doha Kingdom, at the time when it was in the government was unstable, and that was their whole purpose. And during also that time, like 100 years ago, that's when the inspection department was created to ensure that everything was put back into place. Now we have our main character by the name of Jean Otus, aka the Cigarette Peddler. Now he's that type of MC character that we don't see often, but he's a very nonchalant, laid back type of character, and he's also part of the inspection department, part of ACCA. And even though he's that type of person, he's also very observant of his surroundings. Like, he's able to crack down some stuff that we, the viewers, may not have saw in the first place until he explains that someone was possibly following him, or someone did something wrong and tried to push it upon somebody else. And the fact that even many times he says he does not want to be in the inspection department anymore, I think that that job fits him perfectly because of the type of person he is. Now we come to understand, like, in the beginning of the episode, they kind of wanted to terminate the inspection department because they are now living in very peaceful times. And as I said, the inspection department was created during the time when the government was unstable, and which was 100 years prior to the storyline. Now the fact that everything is okay, there's no crisis going on, they didn't see what was the point of keeping this department within, the 13 branches of ACCA. So they wanted to dismantle it as soon as possible, and that was to be decided by the 5 chiefs of ACCA. Now they're the upper heads of ACCA who sends out the orders and everything to all the other people that's working within that agency. And then they decided that we're no longer going to dismantle the inspection department no more. They're going to keep it, but we don't know exactly the reasons why, because at one point they said they were, but now they changed their mind. With our main character, they keep a close eye on him, because even though he's the type of guy that doesn't seem very much into his job, he does it very well, and he executes whatever task is given to him. Now the series is kind of slow in the beginning, which may turn off some viewers, because most people, even myself I have to say, is very used to the first episode getting straight to the point. They don't try to hold back, and that determines whether this show is worth giving a watch or it's not. Now some people may have some mixed emotions concerning this anime, but I'm going to give it up till the 3rd episode to determine whether I'm going to stick with this series or I'm going to drop it. Now by the end of the episode of episode 1, we have where Gene feels like he is being stalked by someone. He keeps saying that I feel like someone is watching me, and that we have where Gosler, who is one of the 5 chiefs of ACCA, it looks like he has something against Gene. He feels like Gene is the person who is trying to start a coup d'etat against the government, against the Doha Kingdom. That's where the 13 districts are locating, and this is the place where Gene and the rest of the characters live in. So and the fact that we saw many fires, arsonists getting arrested and within the first episode, there's a possibility that someone is trying to start up trouble in these peaceful times. Now it goes on to further explain episode 2. It was kind of like episode 1, whereas not much has happened, nothing that really sprung out in this episode, but we come to find out that in fact there was someone that was, keeping a close eye on Jean. Now, I did remember saying that Jean is like someone that's very observant of his surroundings. And we saw in the first episode how he has like a really close friend by the name of Nino. And they have a really close relationship with each other. They've been friends, as they explained in episode 2. They've been friends since they were in high school. So he can confide in him, telling him, how it is at his job and his daily life and the such. And we come to find out, like in episode 1, there was someone tailing after him. And it was someone that was working within ACCA, who was working, I believe, with the police. And this character by the name of Rail, he had something against rich people, and he tried to put blame on Jean by stealing his lighter, so that somehow he can give Jean a bad name because he has things against rich people. But later Jean says, I knew it was you all along. So he finds out who's the one tailing after him, but there's another person tailing after him. So he finds out it was this guy that was doing as such. Now, as I said, Gosler, who's part of the 5 chiefs, he believes that Jean is the one that's starting the coup d'etat, because how he been sending requests for so long saying that he wants to transfer from department so many times, but yet he has never done it actually, because he no longer wants to be part of the inspection department, my bad. So not only that, but the fact that he executes his work flawlessly has him questioning, and the fact that there is arsonists, there are fires starting up within the districts. And so he's coming up with this assumption, and that he's hearing rumors from various people that someone is trying to go against the government right now. They're trying to take down the government. From what we understand, the government is that of a monarchy, because their king, who celebrated his 99th birthday back in episode 1, that's the king. So they have a monarchy system. They have a monarchy government. So they believe Jean is the one who is, trying to upstart the kingdom. So what I found out, which was, very interesting, is that they actually have where Nino, who is Jean's good friend since high school, the person who's trailing after him. And the fact that they knew each other for 15 years, since the very start of high school till now, meaning they're probably in their late 20s, because sometimes their birthday don't come as of yet, or they're probably in their very early 30s for how long they knew each other. And possibly he has been working by Gosler's side and observing Jean's motives and what he's been doing day to day. On the daytime, he acts like a good journalist and a good friend of Jean, and then on the flip side, he's like an agent for Gosler. So he's like day and night, and he's playing the best of two worlds. So I guess in a sense he's not really a good friend as we would have thought initially back in episode 1. He's not really a good friend of Jean, and we don't know exactly why they want to put blame against Jean and make it seem like he's the guy who's stirring up a lot of trouble and everything. But hopefully in the later episodes they will explain what their motives are and what exactly they have against Jean, and not just because he's good at what he's doing, but I want a concrete explanation of why they're trying to use him as a scapegoat, and what are their plans and motives for possibly creating a coup d'etat. So it was good, but it's kind of slow. But like I said, I'm going to get, by the 3rd episode, I'm going to determine whether I'm going to stick with the series or not. So you know, this is Madhouse, and Madhouse has different types of styles of doing things. So this is something I can expect of them to do, because they don't have a concrete, like say like Kyo Annie. When you see their works, you know it's definitely them. Madhouse has various styles. So this is something that I expected of them to do. So if you guys saw these 2 episodes, tell me in the comment section below on how you feel about them. Are you planning to stick around with it after the 3rd episode or such, or have you already dropped it because you didn't like it, or are you still going to stick with it? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. The links are in the description box as always. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!